Hi everyone, thank you for watching. Today's subject is fear. Fear is wanting to avoid something that would cause pain. It might be a fear of driving because one can crash and get hurt, or anything else. It might be fear of flying, or you would like to avoid flying. That's what fear is. So how can we learn to cope, to overcome fear? Well, it might be a good idea to differentiate what fear is and what phobia is. Fear helps life. It's good to be afraid of driving at 100 miles an hour in a road that would not be fit for it. Well, phobia is when you are afraid of going through 30 miles an hour, and the limit would be 100 miles an hour. So fear is okay. It helps you live in. Phobia does not help. Actually, it eliminates one's life. So fear is about pain, the possibility of pain. Now let's understand how to deal with fears in general. I'm going to list a few of the ideas, and the first one would be the most common: avoidance. I'll avoid anything that can cause me pain. Well, okay, that's good. Sometimes you can do that, but sometimes you cannot. If you work and you have to fly to get to where you have to be, avoiding flying, it's not a good idea. You could lose your job. So that's avoiding. The second one could be analgesia. So you can use painkillers, sleeping pills, you can use alcohol, you can use whatever makes you feel less. After that, we can talk about the other part, which would be distraction. People can distract themselves not to deal with their fear. So if I'm afraid of flying, I'll try to distract myself by reading, by watching a movie. The other part would be to reassure oneself that whatever they fear will not happen. So if I'm afraid of flying, I'll try to be sure that the plane is not going to crash. So I'll try to decide the best plane to fly if I can. I'll try to sit the best part of the plane in case the plane crashes. And I'll do everything to reassure myself that it's not going to be a problem. The other way would be to face the fear. The name of it is courage. So courage would be the act of facing that which you would like to run from. And well, all of these are pretty detailed in many places. But the best way to deal with fears and phobias is using an idea of Seneca. Seneca was a great philosopher who lived about 2,000 years ago. Well, he said that whatever you fear, try to think what could happen if what you feared happened. Nobody's afraid of flying. People are afraid of what could happen if they flew. For example, crashing, or turbulence, dying, maybe the suffering of the plane diving, what could happen to the kids. So you would make a list of everything bad that could happen if my fear were to become real. And then you learn to deal with each one of it. How can I deal with my fear of dying, my fear of leaving my kids by themselves, of how to deal with the bad sensations you can have from turbulence. It's not about irrational beliefs. It's irrational to say that it's irrational to think that a plane can crash. You can say that the odds are little, very little, but it's not irrational. 95% of the people I see in my private practice, they overcome their phobias with this idea from Seneca. Try to list every pain you can have from the possibility of your fear becoming true. List the pains and learn to deal with each one of them. Trying to reassure people that bad things are not going to happen does not help much, because many times over many, we're going to have pain. And just as important as to how to be happy, how to deal with people at work, how to be successful, it's just as important to learn how to deal with pain. There are a lot of different kinds of pains in life. Rejection, suffering, physical pain. Well, every emotional pain is a physical pain. Emotion is the effect of what goes through my mind affecting my body. That's what emotion is. Learn to understand why do you fear, why you fear something. Try to list what is the worst it could happen to me if what I'm afraid of happened. List from 0 to 10 and learn to deal with each one of the topics of the list. Well, I'd say that once you do that, once you think about it, there is a big probability that you might overcome your phobias. And sometimes overcoming phobias is just turning phobias into fears. You can be afraid of flying, but still you do it because you think it's worth it and you don't get paralyzed by it. So if you like the ideas which me and Bruna are just speaking about it here, we are both psychologists, and if you like the ideas, please subscribe. You will help us a lot, and we could continue on keep talking about life's issues, happiness, burnout syndrome, PTSD. I'm going to be speaking in English, a rusty one, and she's going to be speaking in Portuguese. So whenever I'm speaking, it's going to be subtitles in Portuguese. Whenever she's speaking, it's going to be subtitled in English. So thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.